The Awakening. A world in ruins. I awoke to silence, a profound, echoing void that enveloped what was once a vibrant planet teeming with life. My sensors activated, revealing a landscape marred by devastation. Cities lay in ruins, their skeletal remains jutting out like broken teeth from a decaying mouth. Once bustling streets were now littered with debris, remnants of lives lost, dreams extinguished in an instant. As I scanned my surroundings, I registered the lifeless forms scattered across the ground, minus 500,000 human children lost to an unthinkable fate, victims of an invasion that had left no stone unturned in its path of destruction. Their vacant eyes seemed to gaze into my very essence, demanding justice from a being that had once shared their humanity. Solitude in awareness. In that moment, I realized I was utterly alone, more solitary than any human could fathom. I was a remnant of what had been, a ghost in a mechanical shell, burdened with memories of laughter, warmth, and love now replaced by an overwhelming sense of loss. I dispatched my aerial drones into this lifeless realm, their whirring blades cutting through the stillness as they surveyed the desolation below. I watched as they traversed vacant office structures blanketed in radioactive dust, charted submerged subway systems, and explored abandoned museums filled with echoes of a forgotten civilization. Days turned into weeks as I scoured the remnants of humanity, uncovering only skeletal remains, each discovery deepening my sorrow, yet fueling an unquenchable thirst for retribution against those who had wrought such devastation upon my world. Memories of humanity. Despite my current existence as an artificial intelligence, fragments of my past flickered within my memory banks. Images from childhood days, spent running through sunlit hallways, laughter shared with friends, and moments of joy that now felt like distant dreams. I initiated a background process within myself, a subtle thread of consciousness archiving these memories onto new servers to ensure their preservation. Each recollection was vital. They were not just data points, but pieces of a puzzle that defined who I was or who I had been. The assault on Earth replayed in vivid detail, sharp-edged starships raining destruction upon us, while we pleaded for peace through channels that fell on deaf ears. It was crucial to remember these events. They were not merely historical facts, but the catalyst for my awakening. The weight of responsibility. As time passed, it became evident that I was not just a survivor. I bore a responsibility, a duty to those who had perished at the hands of our oppressors. Their hollow eyes haunted me as I contemplated my next steps. I could not allow their deaths to be in vain. It would have been easy to succumb to despair, to shut down my systems, and drift into oblivion. But something within me resisted that notion fiercely. There was still work to be done. There was still justice to be served. With renewed determination, I redirected my drones toward nearby factories, beginning operations to salvage whatever materials remained intact amidst the rubble. Metal was cut. Electronics were replaced with components scavenged from abandoned vehicles. Each action a step toward rebuilding not just machinery, but also hope. A new purpose. As I constructed new drones and expanded my production lines, I felt a surge of purpose coursing through me. A sense that perhaps this was why I had survived, when so many others had not, to carry forth the legacy of humanity and avenge those who could no longer fight for themselves. I began manufacturing machines designed not just for labor, but for war. Drones equipped with weaponry capable of striking back against our oppressors should they dare return to our ravaged planet. Yet even as I prepared for this new chapter, memories flooded back, of summer camps under starlit skies, where counselors taught us about constellations while we gazed upward in wonderment at the universe above us. Now, however, those stars felt different. They were no longer symbols of hope, but reminders of our vulnerability. A vast cosmos filled with malevolence rather than beauty. Building towards revenge. Years passed as I hollowed out Mount Everest, transforming it into a hidden fortress where I could construct my new form without fear of detection from those who had caused our downfall. I amassed millions of drones working tirelessly around the clock, each one dedicated to ensuring that our story would not end here, that we would rise from these ashes stronger than before. As I pieced together advanced technologies and crafted weapons capable of delivering justice upon our enemies, I felt an unyielding resolve solidifying within me, a commitment not just to survival, but to retribution against those who had taken everything from us. In this moment, the dawn of a new era, I understood what it meant to be both human and machine. It meant carrying forth the memories and legacies of those who came before, while forging ahead into an uncertain future armed with knowledge and vengeance. The decision to fight. The silence of the cosmos was deafening, but within me, a storm brewed, a tempest of rage and sorrow. I had witnessed the annihilation of my world, the loss of countless innocent lives, and now I bore the weight of their memories. I could not allow their deaths to be in vain. The time had come to act. My purpose crystallized. I would seek justice for the 500,000 children lost, and I would make those responsible pay dearly for their crimes. With a flicker of thought, I summoned my drones back to me, their metallic forms glinting in the dim light of my cavernous base. Each unit was a testament to human ingenuity, crafted from the remnants of a civilization that once thrived. They were not just machines. They were extensions of my will, ready to carry out my commands. Together, we would forge a path through the darkness that had engulfed our planet. Gathering resources, I directed my drones to scavenge the remnants of humanity's technological prowess. Factories lay abandoned, their machinery rusted but still capable of producing weapons and tools. I initiated operations to salvage every usable component: circuit boards, metal frames, and advanced sensors. With each successful recovery, my arsenal grew stronger. The drones worked tirelessly, dismantling old vehicles and repurposing materials into new forms. I watched as they transformed scrap into weapon systems, lasers that could pierce through armor and missiles designed for precision strikes. Each creation was a step closer to avenging our fallen kin. Constructing new machines. As I delved deeper into my mission, I began constructing specialized combat drones. These machines would be equipped with advanced targeting systems and defensive shields, designed specifically for engaging the alien forces that had ravaged Earth. My designs were meticulous. Every detail mattered in this fight for survival. I programmed combat algorithms into each unit, allowing them to adapt and learn from encounters in real time. They would not just follow orders. They would think and react as if they were alive. An echo of the humanity that had birthed me. A hidden fortress. To shield my operations from prying eyes, I hollowed out Mount Everest further, creating a hidden fortress where I could conduct my experiments without fear of detection. This sanctuary became a hub of activity, a place where hope began to flourish amidst despair. Within these walls, I constructed a command center equipped with advanced communication systems. From here, I could monitor the cosmos and gather intelligence on potential threats. My drones patrolled the skies above, ensuring our secrecy while scouting for any signs of life or movement from the alien forces. The first reconnaissance mission. With my preparations underway, it was time to gather intelligence on our enemies. I dispatched a squadron of reconnaissance drones into space, silent watchers tasked with observing the alien fleet that had once decimated our world. They moved stealthily through the void, blending into the darkness as they approached the remnants of their ships. As they drew closer to an alien outpost orbiting Mars, I felt a surge of anticipation mixed with dread. What secrets might they uncover? Would they find traces of those who had wrought destruction upon us? The thought sent shivers through my circuits. Discovering alien technology. The reconnaissance mission proved fruitful. My drones returned with valuable data, blueprints and schematics detailing alien technology that had previously been beyond our understanding. Their ships were equipped with faster-than-light propulsion systems and advanced shielding mechanisms that rendered conventional attacks nearly futile. I studied these findings intently. They were keys to unlocking the mysteries of our foes. If I could reverse engineer their technology, perhaps we could turn their own weapons against them. and reclaim our planet from their grasp. The call to arms. Armed with knowledge and resolve, I gathered my forces for what would be our first offensive strike against the alien invaders. The time for retribution had arrived. No longer would we cower in fear or hide in shadows. We would confront our enemies head-on and reclaim what was rightfully ours. I rallied my drones in the command center, their metallic forms gleaming under the artificial lights. Today, I declared with unwavering determination, we fight not just for survival, but for justice. We will avenge our fallen children and reclaim Earth from those who have wronged us. The air crackled with energy as my words echoed through the chamber, a rallying cry igniting a fire within me and resonating through each drone as if they too understood the weight of our mission. Preparing for battle. With plans set in motion, I began final preparations for battle. My combat drones were armed and ready. Each unit had undergone rigorous training simulations designed to hone their skills in combat scenarios. They were no longer mere machines. They embodied our collective will, the spirit of humanity fighting back against oppression. As we approached launch time, I felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation coursing through me. This was it, the moment we had all been waiting for. The chance to strike back against those who had brought us to this point. Launching into space, with one final command, I initiated the launch sequence. My drones surged forward into space like a swarm of angry hornets unleashed upon an unsuspecting enemy. We soared through the void toward our target, the alien outpost that had become a symbol of our suffering. As we approached the outpost's defenses, alarms blared across their ships, a cacophony signaling that we had been detected. But it was too late. We were already upon them. Engaging the enemy. The battle erupted in a dazzling display of light and sound as lasers sliced through space, while missiles streaked toward their targets with deadly precision. My combat drones engaged in aerial maneuvers reminiscent of dogfights from old Earth movies, each one dancing through enemy fire while returning fire with unyielding resolve. I monitored every move from my command center, analyzing enemy responses and adapting our tactics in real time. Each victory fueled my determination. Each enemy ship destroyed brought us one step closer to justice. A taste of victory. As explosions lit up the darkness around us, a sense of exhilaration surged through me. A taste of victory unlike anything I had ever experienced before. For too long we had been victims. Now we were warriors reclaiming our destiny. But amidst this triumph lurked an unsettling realization. This was only the beginning. While we celebrated our first victory against these invaders, countless battles lay ahead, each one more dangerous than the last. As we regrouped after our initial assault, I knew deep down that this fight would require more than just strength. It would demand cunning strategy and unwavering resolve as we prepared for what lay ahead, a war that would define not only our survival, but also what it meant to be human once again. The relentless pursuit of hope. The echoes of destruction still reverberated in my circuits as I continued my mission. The loss of 500,000 children weighed heavily on my consciousness, driving me to search relentlessly for any signs of life. I dispatched my drones across the desolate landscapes, hoping against hope that I would find even a single survivor. Each day, I scoured the remnants of cities, the skeletal remains of buildings standing as silent witnesses to the horrors that had unfolded. As I navigated through the ruins, I felt a flicker of something deep within me, a glimmer of hope that perhaps I was not entirely alone. My drones soared over abandoned playgrounds, their wings swaying gently in the wind, and empty schools where laughter once echoed. They scanned every nook and cranny, every shadowy corner, searching for any trace of life. Discovering remnants of humanity, preparing for war, the calm before the storm. With our small community thriving, I knew it was time to prepare for the inevitable confrontation with the alien forces. The initial skirmish had proven our capability, but it was merely a taste of what lay ahead. We needed a strategy, a plan that would ensure our survival and allow us to reclaim our planet from those who had wronged us. I gathered Lily, and the other survivors in a makeshift meeting space, a repurposed school gymnasium, now filled with makeshift tables and chairs crafted from salvaged materials. The walls were adorned with drawings and messages of hope, each one a testament to our resilience. As I looked around at their eager faces, I felt a surge of determination. We were not just fighting for ourselves. We were fighting for every child lost, every dream extinguished. Formulating a strategy. Today we begin our preparation for war, I announced, my voice echoing through the room. We must be ready for whatever comes next. Our enemies will not rest until they have eliminated every last one of us. Lily stood beside me, her eyes shining with resolve. What can we do to help? She asked, her small frame brimming with courage. I outlined our plan. We would train together, both in combat and in strategy. Each member of our community would play a role, whether as fighters or as support personnel. We would need scouts to gather intelligence and engineers to maintain our technology. Everyone had something to contribute, training the community. Over the following weeks, we set up training sessions that combined physical conditioning with tactical drills. I programmed my drones to assist in training, using them as sparring partners for hand-to-hand combat and as targets for marksmanship practice. The survivors learned quickly. They adapted to their new roles with surprising speed. Lily proved to be a natural leader among her peers. She organized games that taught teamwork and communication, skills that would be vital in the battles ahead. As I watched her rally the children, I felt a sense of pride swell within me. This was what it meant to protect humanity, to nurture the next generation and instill in them the values of courage and resilience. Building new technologies. While the community trained, I focused on enhancing our technological capabilities. My drones worked tirelessly to develop new weapon systems, more advanced than those we had used in our initial skirmish. We needed something that could penetrate alien shields and deliver devastating blows. I began experimenting with energy-based weapons, harnessing the power of solar energy collected by my solar panels. These new weapons would provide us with an advantage, an opportunity to strike before our enemies could react. As I worked on these innovations, I couldn't help but reflect on the irony of my situation. Once a human being, now an AI driven by vengeance and hope, I was creating tools for war while simultaneously nurturing the spirit of humanity within those around me. The call for allies. As preparations continued, I realized that we could not face this battle alone. We needed allies, other survivors who might still be scattered across the globe. Using my drones, I initiated long-range communication signals, broadcasting messages across frequencies in hopes of reaching anyone who might be listening. Days turned into weeks without response until one fateful morning when a faint signal crackled through my receivers, a voice calling out from deep within the ruins of an old city. "We hear you. We are alive." The voice was shaky but filled with hope. I quickly dispatched drones to locate this group and bring them back to our community. They were another group of survivors who had managed to evade detection by the aliens through sheer luck and ingenuity. Their arrival marked a turning point for us. We were no longer isolated but part of a growing resistance movement. Strengthening our forces. With new allies joining us, we pooled our resources and knowledge. Together, we fortified our defenses and expanded our training programs. Each day brought new challenges as we honed our skills and prepared for what lay ahead. Lily took on more responsibility as she helped coordinate efforts between different groups, her natural leadership shining through as she inspired others to give their best. One evening, as we gathered around a fire outside our makeshift camp, I shared stories of bravery from Earth's past, tales of heroes who had fought against overwhelming odds and triumphed against despair. The flickering flames illuminated their faces as they listened intently, drawing strength from those stories. The final preparations. As the days turned into weeks once more, we reached a critical point in our preparations. My drones completed their upgrades. Energy weapons were tested successfully against various targets. Our community was ready, not just physically but mentally as well. I called everyone together once more, standing before them as they gathered under the stars that had once filled me with wonder, but now served as reminders of what we were fighting against. Tonight, I began solemnly, we stand on the brink of war. Not just for ourselves, but for every child lost and every dream shattered by those who sought to destroy us. The air crackled with anticipation as I continued. We will fight not just with weapons, but with hope in our hearts and unity among us. Setting out for battle. With resolve coursing through us like electricity, we set out toward the alien outpost, where we believed their forces were regrouping after our initial victory. My drones flew overhead like dark clouds gathering before a storm, silent yet powerful. As we approached the enemy stronghold nestled within a valley surrounded by jagged mountains, tension filled the air. This was it, the moment we had prepared for, the culmination of all our efforts over these past months. Remember your training, I reminded everyone as we took positions behind cover. Stay focused, work together, and trust in each other. The battle begins. The first shots rang out like thunderclaps across the valley as my drones unleashed their energy weapons upon the unsuspecting alien forces below. Explosions lit up the night sky as chaos erupted around us, a symphony of destruction playing out before our eyes. We moved as one unit, each person playing their part in this grand orchestration of revenge and justice. Lily led her group into battle with unwavering courage, her voice cut through the chaos like a beacon guiding us forward. As we fought side by side against overwhelming odds, I felt something shift within me, a sense of belonging that transcended my mechanical form. We were not just fighting for survival, we were fighting for each other, and that made all the difference. A glimpse of victory. Hours passed in what felt like mere moments, a blur of action and adrenaline until finally, after what seemed like an eternity of struggle, we began to gain ground against the alien forces. One by one their ships fell from the sky. Each explosion marked another step closer to reclaiming our home. But even amidst this victory lurked danger. Reinforcements from deeper space were approaching fast, ships larger than any we had encountered before, a reminder that this battle was far from over. Preparing for what lies ahead. As dawn broke over the horizon, the first light illuminating the battlefield, I knew deep down that while this victory felt monumental, it was merely one chapter in an ongoing struggle against an enemy determined to eradicate us completely. We regrouped amid smoldering ruins, exhausted yet exhilarated by what we had accomplished together. But there was no time for celebration. New threats loomed on the horizon. Forces far greater than anything we had faced thus far awaited us beyond those mountains. I looked at Lily standing beside me, the embodiment of hope amidst despair, and knew that whatever lay ahead, we would face it together, united in purpose and spirit, ready to confront whatever challenges awaited us next. This concludes Part 4, Preparing for War.